I'll answer this on a video, Anne. Thank you for the question. So for them that don't know, I was brought up in a single parent family, just my mum, but I have got 4 older brothers and I am protected so much by them 4 big brothers. They're all quite a bit older than me, so I came along. My mum had 4 boys and then me. You know, she kept taking my nappy off to check I were a girl. But my mum was a very basic cook. We came home from school every day, the 5 of us, and we came home from school and we just had whatever she cooked, but it was always something cheap but nourishing. She sometimes just made what my mum called potato and onion stew. She fed us well, but she wasn't adventurous at all. So I certainly didn't get it from her. But I had an auntie who passed away 2 years ago, and she was a very good cook, and I learnt a lot from her. At school, when we did cookery lessons, I don't believe they do them now, I was bottom of the class because I didn't like washing up, and I still don't. And then I got married at 18. I was 18 and 6 months when I got married, and I couldn't cook at all because my mum had done it all for us. I'd never boiled a spud. And poor Grandpa Dave, back in them days, you used to be able to get some roast beef in a tin. I don't think you can get them now, I've not seen them. Roast beef in a tin with gravy. So he'd come home from work and he worked bloody hard. Some days he worked 16 hours. You know, he used to work overtime because I didn't work. And he'd come home and he'd have a tin of meat, a tin of potatoes and a tin of carrots. Because I couldn't cook. And we certainly couldn't afford takeaways and ready meals. And then the truth is, I had a neighbour when, after about 5 years, so when I was about 22, I had a neighbour and she had children the same age as mine, and we used to go to each other's house for coffees and teas and stuff. And I used to watch her cook. She was the same age as me, but she was a really good cook. And I took note and I used to watch her, and she'd cook these big pork chops and meals and pastas and stuff, and I used to watch her and I soaked it up. She was called Rachel. If you're watching, Rachel, thank you. And then when Helen was probably about 6, the twins would be 4, I started realising, because I was feeding them on like spaghetti hoops and stuff, and I realised that I've really got to learn how to cook and stop using tin potatoes. And so that's what I did. And I started watching people and reading. I mean, there were no internet then. And I started, believe it or not, do you remember them Bernard Matthews? I don't even know if you can still get them. They were like a round joint, turkey joint. They were made by Bernard Matthews. They had like false fat around the outside. They were about that deep and round. I started with them. Not the best, I know, but that's, the instructions were there. And out of one of them, I got me, David, my mother and 3 kids. And then I just progressed, and I thought, I started with like fresh veg because he was tinned. And then I started buying carrots. And I have always enjoyed messing about with food, but I haven't always been okay at it. I mean, there's still a lot I learn now. You know, I'm not saying I'm a fantastic cook at all. I'm just a home cook. I've never said or professed to be like a fantastic cook. I'm just a home family type cook. And I absolutely love my kitchen, and I love being in my kitchen and messing about with food. But thank you for that question, Anne. I hope that answers it.